Welcome back to The Bible is Art, where we explore the literary artistry of the Bible. And this week, we're going to look at the literary artistry of the structure of the Book of Kings and how child sacrifice is central to its structure. Okay, so I want to get the whole Book of Kings. It's one book, the Book of Kings, 1 and 2 Kings, into your head. And I'm going to do that through an author. So this book here, let me show it to you. The Literary Structure of the Old Testament by David Dorsey is one of the best books that you can buy. It's a reference book I come back to so frequently, where he provides literary structures for every book in the Old Testament. And here's what the structure of the Book of Kings looks like. So if you notice, the book opens up with Solomon, and that's where you have the section about the building of the temple. And then you get, right after Solomon lives, you get the splitting of the kingdom, north from south, and then you get a count of 7 kings, and then you get the main chunk of the book. So sometimes you might think that the Book of Kings is about kings, and it is a lot about kings, but the central section in the Book of Kings is not about kings, it's about Elijah and Elisha. And what is going on is that Israel and Judah eventually has become wildly evil. And so before God destroys it, he sends in 2 prophets. And these prophets are healing the nation. They're calling them to repentance. And so the central section of the book is about these 2 prophets. But what I want to look at is at the end of that first section of 7 kings. It goes down to Ahab, and then there's something unique that happens in the reign of Ahab that we haven't seen before, that is sort of like the catalyst for bringing in the big guns of Elijah and Elisha. And it is, as you guessed, the sacrifice of children. So this is in 1 Kings chapter 16, the last verse. We're in the reign of Ahab, and he's just this like consummately evil king, more evil than any king that went before him. And if you look in terms of the things that actually happens during his reign, the one unique thing that catalyzes it is this. This is the last verse in the chapter 16. In his days, Hiel of Bethel built Jericho. There was this curse that God said back in the book of Joshua that there's a curse on anyone who rebuilds Jericho. He laid its foundation at the cost of Abiram, his firstborn, and set up its gates at the cost of his youngest, Segub, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by Joshua the son of Nun. So this is the unique thing. He rebuilt this city. He began it by sacrificing his son, and when he concluded it, he sacrificed another son. So the big sort of theological, ethical structure of this is that when you get to this state of just consummate evil, that's when people are starting to sacrifice their own children, and that's when God needs to send in 2. Now, there's a structure in the Bible, a pattern that happens is that God sends 2 witnesses in before he destroys a city. This has happened before the flood. This has happened with Jericho, and this is the reference. And there are other references in the book of Revelation with the 2 witnesses, where these 2 witnesses are brought in before destruction. And so Elijah and Elisha are brought in before this destruction. But the purpose for now, in the light of this Roe v. Wade decision, is that we understand how the sacrificing of one's children rates on a moral hierarchy and is an indication of where a culture is. That is, it's nearing the end, right? That is the consummate evil, because the very thing that you should protect, right? The thing that literally has a physical shield around it. You know, when you're at that point, you're at the lowest point. So we should be thankful about this Roe v. Wade decision, is that there's some sort of returning, there's some sort of protection for the children, some sort of reversal of this pattern of evil. But this is not a new thing. We've seen it before, whether it's sacrificing your children out of their womb or in your womb. It's still the fundamentally same thing that's going on. Thank you so much for checking out the video this week. I really do appreciate it. Please leave your thoughts, your comments below. I try to read and comment to everyone. If you would like to be updated, I send out an email whenever I post a new video. And you can do that at biblesart.com/newsletter. If you'd like to support the channel, that'd be wonderful. You can do so at patreon.com/thebiblesart. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.